Hello everyone, Guys with here, and today we are back in All I Wanted to Do Is Survive, Season 2. Last where we left off, I was starting to build my base down here, and since then I have made some progress, quite a lot actually. And I want to show you guys around my base real quick before I get into some pretty deep production, I guess. I went a little crazy with Mouse's doors, and that door factory is just going to sit there. I thought I actually removed it, but I guess I didn't. Anyway, I went a little crazy with Mouse's doors because, well, it's one of my favorite cosmetic mods of all time. So, basically I made these factory doors, and over here will be my general production area. I won't have power production over here when I get to the mod Deep Resonance, that's what it's called. And then I also have the ability to do stuff with uranium ore and extreme reactors. That's what it is. Extreme reactors. So basically nuclear stuff. That will be in an area that I will also show you, but I have my smelter built up right here. I have a redstone clock here so that it can automate the output. I have it turned off right now because I'm recording, but otherwise I would have it outputting the handful of blocks that I have left in here. I have 10 more blocks of iron that I smelted. I went on a huge mining expedition, and actually over here, if I go ahead and show you, boom. I made these jail doors, by the way. They're really cool. And over here, I have a mine shaft. Now, I didn't go mining around this the entire time. I went around the neighboring caves while I was lighting them up so that I can try and prevent some lag. And I basically just made sure that all of them were quite lit up. Not all of them are, I know for sure. Some of them are just completely disconnected from everything, and that's why they will forever be spawning mobs and unspawning mobs. Spawning and unspawning? I think that's how Minecraft spawning works anyway. Because it's completely enclosed and I'll never be able to find them. Unless I just go into spectator mode, which I did for a little while, just to look around and see what sort of stuff was there, and I found more of these little biospheres that, like the one I live in, and what have you. So over here is actually my main mine area. It connects up to some cave system, and I strip mined a little bit, pardon the lag, and I do have a resource pack actually loaded. If you notice, I have a rainbow XP bar, and my font is high definition. So instead of the HD GUI, I used the HD font, which is basically just a reduced version of the HD GUI. The GUI is not high definition, but the font is, and then I added a resource pack that had a rainbow XP bar basically. That's it. But anyway, this is my little mine area. I have my nether portal right here, and I have gone to the nether. It's not that exciting, really. I did kill some blazes. I got some blaze powder, got a load of gems. Oh my gosh, silence gems. I love this flippin' mod. By the way, I have expanded and made this a little bit nicer. My farm has well developed. I'm pretty sure that some lag is also coming from this. So in here, I have built my house, which, I don't know about all of the design. I'm gonna expand up the top a little bit, I think anyway. And I have the open cooking for Blockhead's kitchen. I spent some time making this, and it actually wound up being pretty boring, so I didn't keep that recording. If I go to the cooking table, I can sort by saturation, and it will show you that the chicken celery casserole is the #1 best thing, followed by chili, then fruit salad, which I have a lot of fruit, so I made a ton of fruit salad. So I've used a bit of chisel here, not too much, just a little bit for accents, to save on lag and to also just make it seem quite vanilla-y, and I have to say it looks really nice. I like the fact that it's really simple. I'm a little on the fence about the paper wall bit, but I do still like it. But the shoji doors are definitely one of my favorite things ever. These are really cool. Really like these. Mouse's doors. The fluffy fabric can be made into these fluffy blocks. They look like pretty much just a better wool. A little bit more high definition. And then I made somewhat makeshift storage, like, things off to the side, beside the chests. I mean, the chests are there just to make the bed look like it's not quite so boring. Sadly, the, what is it, refined storage mod isn't in 1.10, so Anyway, that's my house area. Then I made this little thing. This was the original farm, but since I've just replaced it with some wheat and it's just there for aesthetics, really. Then I have my sugarcane area. I haven't really harvested too much of the sugarcane because I don't need that much. I have an apiary, and I haven't checked this a lot, really. This apple sapling from Pam's Harvest Craft isn't growing, and to be completely fair, it doesn't have any sort of view to the sky, so I don't imagine it will. But I wish it kind of would, because it would be pretty cool to be able to have this apple sapling, an apple tree here, but whatever. And then up here, I have made the nuclear power area. Over here, I have this thing to lead to the next biosphere. I'll pretty much just show you what it is. Down this hall and down these steps, I have this. I don't really have anything in it, really, at the moment. I probably will find some use for it in the future. Maybe it'll just be aesthetic, or I might be able to find something. It probably will be a Botania area, if any. Well, no, I don't have Botania. Roots. That's what I'm trying to think of. Roots. I'll definitely not be using it for blood magic. That is not going to be a natural area. That will be very much stone. But anyway, this is my favorite door of all time. The fact that I'm mesmerized by a door opening and closing should be pretty strange, but then again, it is a really, really cool door, especially for Minecraft of all things. But anyway, I used a lot of chisel over here to make this area, and over time it'll probably grow, but this is the amount of stuff that I had resources for, and I don't have nearly enough obsidian to build the obsidian box that I need to keep radiation from spilling out because of the deep resonance power system, which I will make later. But for today, I'm actually going to be setting up a little less renewable power source, I guess, with advanced generators. That will lead up to something a little bit later. I need to start my day by making an advanced generator. Then I will go to the Philosopher's Stone, which will tie into remote modular storage. This was just sort of a thing to say, maybe figure out something else, but I realized, no, that'll definitely be enough for today. Today, I will be making a syngas generator. I made this in an unreleased segment of Revenge of the Sea Team. The things that I need for a gas turbine, which are... It's pretty simple, actually. It's mostly just iron, redstone, nether quartz, a little bit of gold in a few places, like here, gold and pistons. So, the advanced generator that I need to make, I guess, is the gas turbine generator. Now, if I just break that up into iron ingots, and then I can make the iron tubing between these two, make one of the syngas. This requires a pressure valve. Syngas producer, the atom input port. Need to make 4 more of these. That's all of my iron that I had. I might need to go to my smelter and grab some of the iron from it. Let me go ahead and make sure that I get enough iron. Holy crap, does this use a lot of flippin' iron. So much iron tubing. I'm surprised that I need so much, but I guess. So that's enough for the syngas producer. I'm practically out of iron again. Oh my gosh, this is using so much iron. 6 colon there, 6 colon there. That should make the binder. And then in the meantime, I can go ahead and run it over to the little area. I dug a little bit more out, and I can go ahead and set up the first thing. So I need 1 controller. This is pretty much the brain of it all. Then I need to have a fluid output valve. That's pretty much the exit of the thing. The mixing chambers, the heating chamber, and then the item input port. So basically, in this, I can put in 9 coal blocks, and then it'll make each one into a load of carbon. Now, I believe I need to add in water. Yes. So that actually means I need to make another fluid input port. Forgot about that. So fluid intake, I'll actually, I think, move that closer. Fluid intake right there. The 2 turbines. The fuel tanks. The flux generator will be right here, and here's a controller, and everything's now a multi-block. So I need to make, I think, a fluid conduit as well. Fluid conduit. I need to make quite clear glass. That's a problem. Maybe I think I might be able to just bucket this in. Maybe? I might be able to. For the start, it shouldn't be too hard, because this does use not a lot of, it doesn't use a lot of buckets every tick, but it does still generate quite a lot of RF. So if I want to make the alloy smelter, it's not too bad, just assuming I have enough iron. Alrighty, so I had to do a little bit of a workaround way of getting this. In fact, I had to make a Stirling generator, which I just burned 2 blocks of coal, and I was able to make enough RF to power the alloy smelter to make all the fused quartz I needed for this, plus a little bit of quite clear glass for the fluid conduits. Now, I needed reservoirs because the extra utility transfer node, actually, when you do an infinite water source, in order for it to be able to pump, it actually does use power once you upgrade it. Yeah, I'm not going to do that yet. Or maybe ever. I don't know. Just depends. Honestly, extra utilities has cool stuff in it, but some things are just a little iffy. But anyway, here's the alloy smelter right here. It's pretty full of power. This thing's pretty full of power too. And then over here, I made these reservoirs, which I saved. I was able to save one because you make sets of 2. You make with fused quartz, which is 4 quartz in the alloy smelter, and then a cauldron, so it's 14 iron in these 4 reservoirs, one of which I'm not even using. Over here, I have the fluid conduit, which uses the quite clear glass, which you have to use the alloy smelter for. It's basically just glass smelted again to get rid of impurities, I guess. Then the water and the syngas is being put into here, and because after a little while it heats up, it is able to heat up to, I believe, above 160, and then it begins heat units. Then it will make steam out of the water, and it will begin to use the carbon in the system and make the syngas, which now a load of it is in here, and it's pretty much, whoa, holy moly, that's a lot of RF already. It generates fast. Oh my gosh. This is, I believe, at 200 RF or 400 RF per tick, because of each of these bronze turbines being able to make 200 RF per tick. So that's why I wanted to go for this advanced generator system, because it's pretty powerful. It does use a lot of coal, though. A lot. But wow, this is pretty handy. And I still have a load of syngas left. I wonder why these have such high limits. I mean, I think the max of the mixing chambers is something like 25. And you can make 50 turbines, which, I mean, that will use a lot more of the gas over time. But you barely need any. I'm using 3 1/3 millibuckets per tick. Per second per generator, which is 6.66666. Ha ha ha. 6.66666, etc. Or 6 2/3 millibuckets of steam per second. Yeah, it's not a lot of steam, syngas, which was able to be made very fast, mind you, and it collects very quickly. Holy moly! I'm pretty impressed. Color me impressed. This is pretty cool. I forgot these were so efficient and so handy. However, I need to make a block that allows me to charge with these using the RF. So, hopefully, I haven't checked it out actually. I have so much crap in my inventory, but Capacitor Bank. Basic Capacitor Bank. Okay, so it's just 4 basic capacitors and a redstone block and 4 iron ingots. That's not hard at all, actually, thankfully. If I just go ahead and grab some iron really fast, just make 3 of these capacitors, and then go over here, grab me a redstone block. Things have stabilized just a little bit. Jeez. This overpowered generator system. I produce 1,000,000 RF very fast. In fact, that Sterling generator was able to easily keep up with the alloy smelter, so I feel like some of the values have been changed, or I'm just used to higher values from Sky Factory. Or, again, things have changed since 1.7, and they become simpler, in at least some mods anyway. And others are still meant to be extremely overpowered. Wrong capacitor. And there we go, the basic capacitor bank. I should be able to charge the thing that I need to charge with this, if I'm actually able to place it. Okay. There we go, loads of power just being input into this thing. I had a lot of other plans to do. So, first and foremost, then I can actually just grab the rest of this stuff. So, the first thing that I need to do is make ender pearls. Now, I can make ender pearls using a philosopher's stone, which is just a diamond, 4 redstone, and 4 glowstone. Bam! Philosopher's stone. Now, in the crafting table, I can go ahead and use 4 iron ingots to make an ender pearl. I need 4 of these, so if I go ahead and do 4, and then I can also make right away the transmutation table. And then I can set this down somewhere. I'm thinking I will put it right there. And then I can make a quartz block, take that out, an emerald, take it out, another quartz and take it out. I'll put loads of stuff in here and then store up some EMC, and it'll basically act as almost like a black hole storage system. So just it's all raw energy instead of the actual items, which will save a bit on my inventory space, and I can probably get rid of some of the ores and stuff. Oh wait, the ores don't have EMC values. Not helpful! Great! I think that is probably put in place just to either get around the fact that it eliminates the need to account for fuel, or it's put in there to just be annoying. It could be either. I'm thinking it's probably the former, but in the end, it also works for the latter just as easily. Anyway, somewhat annoyance aside, I want to make the modular storage system from RF Tools. Now, if I type in storage, I need to make this remote storage, which I can make the machine frame. Come on, machine frame. And then go to remote storage, make the remote storage. Then I make the tablet. And yes, this is admittedly pricey, but in the end, it's actually well worth it in my opinion. I then can make that a tier 2. And then I need this remote storage module, which actually needs 2 more ender pearls. So I'm thinking I can probably put this down in here. Just right there should be fine. Now I can store that storage module in, I'm thinking that spot. Now I'm thinking that this also needs power. So I'm gonna need to go and hook this up. So there we go. And I can go ahead and put this remote storage module right there. It now is connected to this storage module. And if I go into my inventory, grab that, and craft it with that, this is now connected with that storage module. Not enough energy to open the contents, of course. I don't have any energy in here at the moment, but charge it up. Pretty easy, only 20,000 RF. And there we go. I can take stuff in and out. This is going to be amazing. Oh my gosh. This is one of the things that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. Make a storage module, a remote storage module, mind you. And I've never been able to do it until now. It's better than a backpack. It does use RF, and I'm probably going to keep my backpack because I worked so hard on it. I spent a lot of time out in the wild killing cows for that flippin' backpack. And it's good to just have the handy stuff that, you know, refills things. The storage module tablet probably can also just be stored in there too. In all honesty, I think we're going to keep it in there. And the Philosopher's Stone will also be kept in there. Oh, and by the way, ooh, why is the mining backpack? Oh, yeah, because I was clearing out this area. So actually in the mine shaft over there and a dungeon chest, I found this mining backpack. It had a few things in it, a couple of ores. I think it also had an emerald in it, of all things. I also was mining a little bit over that way. I am unsure precisely where that is in terms of the map, but I wound up exploring an Extreme Hills area and got some emeralds. I didn't have to make the backpack myself. Like I said, I found it in a chest, but I found more emeralds, so I have 3 others. I mean, they're not really used for that much, but anyway. I'm just wondering, where was that Extreme Hills biome? It was a little bit ominous when I just ran into an emerald. It was still in a mega taiga, actually. So, the first one that I ran into anyway. Which was kind of weird, but must just have generated... Well, it was just outside of the biome, which was a little bit weird, but... Anyway, that should about do it. This thing was what I was gearing towards the entire time. I mean, of course, the Philosopher's Stone and the transmutation table are pretty big steps in the future, but for now, they're a little bit of just prep work, and they were a bit of a utility, a useful utility to make just for this. The remote storage module. Remote storage, that's what I aimed towards this entire time. I set up power. Mostly because that was the only thing, well, it needed that. I mean, of course, now I have power and what have you, but still. Let's just close that. All of this effort for that flippin' storage module that for the moment I don't have anything in. I'm wondering what all should I use it for. I know that there will certainly be mass materials that I can store in here instead of just storing them all in my backpack. This will probably just be handy on hand resources, stuff that I will constantly be using, and then the remote storage module will just be temporary things. Oh, and I also forgot that I have a crafting table on a stick. Mobile crafting, everyone. Oh, but I don't need this after a while anymore because of this. I don't have a keybind set to it, but I could set a keybind. Poor crafting table on a stick. I think I used it for a handful of things. I think I actually used it once. Out of all things. Most of the things that I was able to make just required this crafting grid. Or I was just around and decided I'll just use the crafting station instead of the crafting table on a stick. That's quite sad. There are a lot of things that I made for very little purpose. And I think that this has probably been added to that list. To be completely fair, it'll still be useful in many ways. Because it does have a huge inventory. I mean, 200 stacks as opposed to 9 by 6, which is 54 stacks. So yeah, that's quite a huge inventory comparably. But anyway, that should about do it for this episode of Only Managers Survive. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more episodes of this series. Oh gosh, the pants are looking weird. What is that? Is that a vanilla Minecraft thing? I never realized that that happened. Or is that a Silence Gems thing? I don't know. Anyway, I keep on making weird fashion choices. And yes, I don't have tails installed in this, sadly. I cry every time. Anyway, that should do it. So thank you so much for watching one this time. And this is Guy Smith signing off. Until next time, take care. That's it, guys. Bye-bye.